It's Saturday morning at 10 a.m., so you know what that means. It's time for What's Up, Ocala? With tens of thousands of viewers every month on our YouTube channel and millions so far on TikTok, we are joined by our host, local owner, and broker of Great Expectations Realty, Andrea Praber.
Hello and welcome to What's Up, Ocala. I'm your host, Andrea Praber, and this week we are going to tackle the number one question that I get every single day as a real estate broker. What's the real estate market doing right now? Well, let's go ahead and jump right in. A lot of people are saying that the market is super slow. They don't think that there's going to be a change, that it's slow, it's continuing to be slow. But that's not actually accurate. What I have actually been seeing is that it's an incredibly stable, balanced market. So where are all of these people saying that it's slow? Where is all that coming from? Well, unfortunately, a lot of people have gotten their real estate license or have moved to Florida with their real estate license, especially here in Ocala, since 2020. 2020 was absolutely crazy busy for us here. There were so many people because of the global pandemic. There were so many people that were moving to little old Ocala. And because of that, we had a major influx in sales. We also had a lot of building going on, whereas for practically a decade before that, we really didn't have that much going on. So we had the whole big old rush to purchase, a lot of new construction happening. So we had so many real estate sales and developments and so forth coming into Ocala that, of course, it was a very strong seller's market. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a stronger seller's market in my career. Okay, well, that's interesting that we had all of that going on, but we also had all of these newer agents coming in or newer to the area agents coming in. And now, by comparison, yes, of course, it's very slow by comparison. But truthfully, when you look at the statistics and when you look at the numbers, it's actually a very balanced, stable market, okay? In fact, we still have a lot of people moving to Ocala. In fact, there was a news article recently, it was over on, TV 20. They were talking about for every 309 people that are moving in, only about 100 move out, okay? And that's consistently, over and over again, that's every single month that people are moving in. You get 309 move in, 100 move out. 309 move in, 100 move out. So it's just over and over and over again, all of these people are coming in. Well, okay, that's awesome. So we have new people coming into the area. We have, of course, our locals that are also moving into bigger houses or downsizing or whatever. So we've got the regular market as well. So actually, it's a really good time to be in the real estate world. But because of that big difference between 2020, 2021, 2022, and now we're getting the rumors that it's actually a really slow market. But let's look at the statistics. Currently, right now, our median sales price is about $280,000. That has been consistent for over a year now. $280,000 and $280,000 for a house in Florida. That's actually pretty difficult to find. When I tell people in other markets that I live, not just Florida, but like all over, and I tell them that you can get a brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, double car garage on a 1/4 acre, no HOA, no CDD house, like a full-on house. They're just like, what? Yeah, for under 300? Oh, no. We're talking, I've seen that very easily for 250, 260, 270,000. So if you can get that here fairly easily, and you can't get it in most places in the United States, especially a similar sized town, especially Florida, it's just unbelievable. So for somebody coming over from like Orlando or Miami or Tampa or even Jacksonville, that's just unheard of. That's just absolutely crazy. That's bottom of the barrel prices. Like if you really list out all of the parts and pieces that you need to pay for in order to put a house together, it's not that much difference. that much difference. So when you look at it, we really have some really great prices. I know, of course, if you were here in, 2008 to 2012, you're like, that same house was going for 60, 70,000. Okay, well, there was a major recession going on. So that definitely had a lot to do with those prices. So it was definitely much more a buyer's market at that time. You couldn't sell a house. You could practically give a house away. It was absolute insanity. So we just have to have a nice, balanced, normal, statistically normal market. And that's what we're seeing. A lot of our more newer real estate agents don't really know what to do with that. So it is different for them. But I assure you, your house will sell. If you put your house up for a reasonable price, not trying to get, way more than what it's worth. If you actually put it up for the market price and your house is, has good curb appeal, it looks good, it smells good, it's clean, it's going to sell. It's going to sell. Okay. We have people that are purchasing. We have people that are moving to the area. We have a lot of people that are sick to death of paying rent. So we have not only our locals, but we have all of those that are relocating here as well. And again, for every 300 some odd people that are moving in, only about 100 are moving out. So we definitely are the place to be. Now, I heard a statistic last year that we were getting over 250 people moving to Ocala, Marion County, every single week, which seems astronomical to me, but that's actually pretty accurate. So a little bit craziness going on, but we do have a lot of people moving here. And we do have a lot of jobs. We have a lot of jobs. We have a lot of distribution centers that have come in. We have the World Equestrian Center, which opened during 2020. That was actually during COVID is when the World Equestrian Center opened up. It was like, what? And it's continued to grow. I don't think construction in any portion of it has ceased this entire time. So constantly growing out there, and they are, I think, only in like phase 2 of 4. So it's going to be a much, much bigger endeavor over the next few years. It's got a lot of it that's opening up even this year. So it's going to be very exciting for that. So we have all the jobs that are opening up at the World Equestrian Center and that are at the World Equestrian Center. Then we have, new hospitals coming in, like the Shands Hospital that just came in over just off of I-75. We have Buc-ee's that's coming in. We have all of the road construction, which we of course need people to help with that. We have the penny tax, which has helped, to pay for equipment and so forth for the fire department, the police, and all of that. So that's allowing for more of the resources we do have to go to increase wages, which increases the value of those jobs as well. So it's just over and over and over again, really great things that are happening here in Marion County. And that does impact the real estate market. It really does. So right now, a lot of people, when I sit down and I have a conversation, do a listing appointment or whatever with them, they ask me, how long is it going to take to sell my house? I normally tell them 90 days because I like to make sure that they are well aware of what the market is doing, that it is not going to sell like tomorrow. It's not like somebody's going to come in with, cash and be like, okay, here's the money in a bag, sign over your house. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. Normally, it takes about 30 to 45 days just to go from accepted offer to closing. So if you count those 30 to 45 days into it, you still have to have at least a few weeks of marketing. And that's really what we're looking at. Currently, days on market, the average time frame is going at 63 days. So 63 days, that's not bad. That's about 2 to 3 weeks of marketing and, open houses and so forth. And then, getting an offer and going to closing. So really not too bad. Now, why do I say 90 days? Well, I like to make sure that I can beat expectations. So if I can do it in like 2 weeks of marketing or 1 week of marketing, and get you that closing in like 45 to 60 days, which is the average, awesome. I'm super excited about that. And people will have a much better, much better perspective. So, and again, if they are thinking that they're going to have like 6 months on the market or something, that's just not normally accurate right now. If your house is priced correctly, market value, then it's going to sell. And it's going to all happen from, day one of hitting the market to closing, handing over the keys, about 63 days right now. Now, another thing to keep in mind is also that pricing. It's actually pretty close to listing price. It's 97.4% of sold to list price. So if they're listing the price at, let's say, 100,000, they're going to sell it for 97,400 basically. So it's pretty close. Okay. If you're doing it 200,000, math accordingly. All right. But median house price is 280,000. I like to use the median as opposed to the average because I think it gives a much better idea of what the market is actually doing as opposed to, some random sales that can kind of skew the whole thing. So we're going to do that. Median list price has gone up to just shy of 300,000. So it's at 296,990. So basically a lot of people are listing it at 296 and they're selling at 280 to 290. So kind of interesting there. And I think the median gets skewed quite a bit because some of those people are listing at 310 and others are listing right at market level. So, again, it's a little bit skewed. But no matter what, your house is going to sell what the market will bear. The market is whatever somebody is going to come in and pay for, what they're ready, willing, and able to pay for your home. So that is the market price. There's no, really, we can go into statistics all day long, but that's basic what it is. The market is whatever somebody is going to reasonably come in and be able to pay on your house. And that includes the appraisal and so forth. It's not like they can normally just come in and offer you way more than what the market will bear. All right, so let's go into sold and actives and all of that fun stuff, and we'll get into the trends. The trends really have been staying fairly consistent over the last year, if not 2 years. So kind of interesting in that. From last month to this month, not much change. It really has been fairly consistent, like I said, and it is a very balanced market. It's skewed a little tiny bit more towards the buyers than the sellers, but not by much. And a lot of that is just that the sellers might be in a hurry. So they're going to give more concessions because of their timing. But yeah, if you were to go to any other market, let's say you go down to Tampa or you go to Orlando or something like that, or anywhere near, and you want a brand new construction 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home with a double car garage on a 1/4 acre, no HOA, and you want to pay under 280. Okay. Yeah. It would be pretty difficult. It would probably be the size of a shoebox, but it would be pretty difficult. So we're very fortunate here in Ocala, Marion County, in order to be able to sell those houses and to purchase those houses at that price range. But that's not all about just that. What is the big factor that really influenced the purchasing of homes, not just here, but nationwide? Well, of course, it's the interest rate changes. But the interest rates have come down, and I think they're going to continue to come down slightly. You're not going to see 2 or 3%. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. There were some very, very specific circumstances that allowed for that 2 or 3%. And if you go back into my videos, when I was begging, absolutely begging, pushing and prodding for people to go ahead and get a mortgage, if at all possible, at the 2 or 3%, nobody listened to me. They, of course, some people did. The smart ones out there, they listened to me. But a lot of people were like, oh, you're just saying that because you want to sell houses. Well, yeah, I do. But at the same time, I'm not going to give you bad advice because that's going to make me look like not an authority and some kind of skeezy used car salesman type person. That's not what we're doing. If you want an accurate opinion or some information or whatever, let me know. I will show you the statistics and you can go from there. I have absolutely no problem with that. But currently they're not bad. Okay. They really aren't. Weekly national average as of right now, because of course it changes on the daily, is 6.25. So nationwide average 6.25 for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. That's not bad. That's really not bad. Is it 3%? No, it's not, but it's also not 10%. And I was really concerned that we were going to go up into the double digits. I was watching it go up and up and up and up. I'm like, oh my goodness, we're going to be in the double digits for the first time in my lifetime. That is insane. We did not. It just shy of it, but we did not. It held fast in the 7s for quite some time, but now we're going down not only into the 6s, but into the low 6s. And even in the 5s, you can very easily, depending on your credit, your debt to income, and all of that fancy stuff, you can definitely get a mortgage in the 5.5 interest rate range. So, and if you want to go down even further than that, you can. There's some builders that are offering some pretty incredible incentives and going into the 4s right now. Mind you, 4.99, but still, they're going into the 4s and stuff by offering some incentives for purchasing some of their homes. So keep that in mind. Of course, you'll need to go with their preferred lenders and stuff like that, but still at the same time, and they're even offering to pay closing costs in some cases. So definitely something to look into. If you want a list of homes and builders that are offering stuff like that, please just let me know. I absolutely love working with the builders. They are some of my favoriteest people ever, and they make things so much easier for my customers. So I love that. But I can definitely get you that info. So just go ahead and send me an email at ger.expectmore@gmail.com, and we will get you the list of builders that we would recommend, not just anybody, but actual builders for spec homes, and also if you want a custom home, who we would recommend. I think it's very, very important getting that information over there. So, all right, for this week, it's actually a lot of the offers that went for loans were actually lower than the national average. People are overall making about $2,000. They're saving about $2,000 in interest each year because of those savings. So that's pretty good. So yeah, the current average 30-year fixed rate mortgage is actually, let's see, I think we're actually going to 6.2%. So pretty good. So 6.20%. If you're looking to refinance your current mortgage, that's a little bit different. That is going to be at 6.66. I did not make up that number. I swear I'm getting the numbers from bankrate.com. I have found their numbers to be fairly accurate across the board. So I get that information from them, but that is their numbers. Don't come at me. I know it's not Halloween or whatever, but yeah, 6.66 for refis. Can't forget those numbers. Today's national average for 15-year refinance interest rate is 5.92. You know, I always recommend to do a 15-year with any of it, if at all possible. I know some of you are out there like, I can do a 30-year and then I'll just pay it off in 15. Well, statistically, that doesn't happen. So if you want to force the issue, go ahead and sign up for that 15-year fixed rate mortgage. I did have an interesting question recently by a younger person that I absolutely adore. And she's looking to purchase a home again. And she said, well, Andrea, I need to know if I should go ahead and go to my local bank. It's a credit union, and they are offering these really amazing, great rates, but it's for an ARM. So it's an adjustable rate mortgage. Do you think I should go ahead and just, do an adjustable rate mortgage through them? Or do you think I should just hold off? And I said, what you should do is find another credit union, because a credit union is supposed to be great for the members. They technically are owned by the members. And if the only thing that they're offering really great rates or really great incentives on is an adjustable rate mortgage, I have some very serious questions about that credit union. I'm not going to get into who it is, what it is, and where it is, but my advice was to look into other credit unions and into other banks as well. There are so many lenders out there, and you have so many different options that just sticking to one credit union and one option and one type of mortgage and one type of incentive is absolutely crazy. So no, definitely shop around, absolutely shop around, and take a look and see what other lenders are offering. If you would like a list of lenders, I would be happy to provide that for you. I actually have quite a few lenders right on our website, which is at greatexpectationsrealty.com. So feel free to check out some of our local resources on there. But if you would like to go ahead and chit chat with me, you can send me an email at ger.expectmore@gmail.com, and I will get you a list of lenders that I totally love and recommend here locally. You can talk to them, ask them the questions, go ahead and tell them that you're actually shopping around, and so you need the absolute best rates, and tell them you're a friend of mine and see what happens. So why not? Why not? It's always good to have a friend in the business, right? All right, so it is extremely important that you go ahead and compare those offers, check and see if you're going to get that 6.2% or maybe even better. But that adjustable rate mortgage, I would have to say not just no to, okay? I saw way too much craziness going on in the recession because of adjustable rate mortgages primarily. And so I have always stayed away from them. I normally give a lot of warnings about that just because personal experience, I saw so much. I saw way too much. So when you see stuff like that, it's just an accident waiting to happen. And not to say that all adjustable rate mortgages are terrible in all circumstances. Once in a blue moon, yes, it is preferable to get an adjustable rate, but 99% of the time I would say no. That would be a terrible, terrible idea. Go ahead and stick with a fixed rate, okay? Because at this point you can get a fixed rate mortgage in the 5s normally. And if you get that fixed rate, and then at some point in the future, if you decide in your life that you would like to refinance that, you can refinance. But because it's a fixed rate, the bank cannot. It's not up to them. They have a fixed rate according to what the market was when you purchased. An adjustable rate is the bank can literally say, you know what? We're going to go ahead and double your interest rate overnight. And all of a sudden, you can't afford your house anymore. It's just not worth the risk, okay? No incentive that I've ever seen would be worth that amount of risk. So please, 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 please be careful on those. So if you are being told that you can only get some major incentives by doing a riskier type finance, just say no. Just say no. I have heard some crazy stuff. Recently, I heard somebody saying that their loan officer was going to sign on their mortgage with them. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, some absolute craziness where that was involved. So just be very, very, very careful. There is some absolute nonsense that goes out in the real estate world. So just be very, very careful, okay? Make sure that you're working with people that you know and trust, or if at anything, get additional information, get a second opinion, get a third opinion, get a fourth opinion. It doesn't matter. Should only take you a few phone calls and you should be good to go. So just let's go ahead and skip out on that adjustable rate mortgage, especially if you are a newer buyer or maybe new to purchasing a home. Those first-time home buyers do not need to be doing any ARMs or messing with that kind of stuff. Fixed rate mortgage, that's what we're looking. Those are the key words, fixed rate mortgage. Okay, I'm gonna get up off of that. Let's go ahead and jump in. What is the prediction going to be? Well, it looks like rates are going to be maybe a little bit higher heading into, all of these holidays and stuff. We're actually looking at going a little higher, but then I think over the summer months, we're actually going to have a surprisingly strong summer, and I think it's actually going to go a little bit lower then. Now, again, if you have that fixed rate, you can decide to refinance, go for it. If it does drop down significantly, which I don't see happening, but if it does, you can go ahead and refinance and get onto those lower rates. Or if it goes higher, well, you're sitting pretty with your fixed rate mortgage amount. So, all right, what else is going on? Let me get some extra statistics for you so you can actually see what is going on with the trend. We've definitely seen how the prices over the last 10 years have definitely gone up. That was actually probably a good thing because the market was so messed up about 15 years ago. Well, there's nowhere to go but up with that one. As far as the 12-month change, it's actually house prices have come down about 2.5%, which is pretty cool. A lot of that is going to some of the luxury homes and some of the higher end homes in the area. Those are the ones that are facing more of a reduction. There's still a really, really big void where any of the houses under 200,000, whew, those get snapped up like you wouldn't believe. So it really does also depend on what kind of price range you're going in. There's very, very few houses available, nice houses available for under 200,000. So if that's what you're building or that's what you've got, you are definitely sitting pretty in that one, because yeah, there's not that much out there for under 200K right now. The real price range is right between 200 and 280. But again, if you are going to 300, 400, 500, it may take a little longer. In that price range, you're maybe more looking at 90 days for sure, as opposed to the 63-day average that we've got going on right now. So what's going to happen? Well, we still have hundreds of people moving to Ocala every single week. So yeah, and not many people leaving. We kind of like it here. We kind of like it here. So if you have all these people moving in, not that many people moving out, we're going to still continue to see that really strong market. Does that mean that it's going to flip over to being a seller's market? Not necessarily. Okay, we're not having some wild buying frenzy that we had back in 2020. It's just a very balanced, consistent market. So for all of our newer agents out there, they're like, why is the market so slow? Okay, there's some definite marketing tools that you're going to need to use in order to get to where you need to be. But yeah, there's some stuff you could do. All of the agents out there are listening to me going, that's just not right. But no, it is actually. I promise you. Oh, I would have absolutely loved this market. 2008 to 2012, I would have been like, this is the best thing ever. This is absolutely amazing. This is magical. Because that was truly a bad market, okay? Right in the recession, it was awful. So yeah, this is great. This isn't 2020, but also 2020, I didn't get to see sleep. Like, there was no sleeping. We were always so busy. It was just absolutely crazy. So it's kind of nice for that. So we're going to continue to see growth in 2026. We're going to continue seeing that balanced market. We might see a slight reduction in our interest rates, but by and large, it is a consistent, balanced market. Those are the words for 2026. It is not a feeding frenzy, and you have some basic averages, right around 280 for the houses and about 63 days on the market for the closings, and your list to price ratio is at about 97%. So what you're listing it for is probably what you're going to get, as long as it is within the market value range. So hopefully all of this information did not put you to sleep. It answers every question you have about what's the market doing right now and what's it going to do in 2026. Hopefully I've been able to help you out with all of that and going into the interest rates and so forth as well. But again, most important thing to take out from that is to shop around. Make sure and check with several lenders before you make your final choice. All right. If there's anything else I can do for you, or anybody else that you know that would like to buy or sell a home here in Marion County or surrounding areas, please let us know. You can ask your questions at ger.expectmore@gmail.com. I would be more than happy to answer your questions. I love getting emails. If you have any questions or comments for the show, if you liked it, go ahead and contact me at ger.expectmore@gmail.com. If you absolutely hated it, well, go tell Ed from the morning show. Tell him that you absolutely hate me. I'm sure that he would love to hear it. It'll be great. It'll be fun. All right, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening in, and we will see you next time, same place, right here, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to What's Up, Ocala? Follow us all week on Andrea Praber's YouTube channel and TikTok. We'll see you next week at 10 a.m. on What's Up, Ocala.